Hey, and welcome back to Talk About Worlds. I'm SirFelixTheCat, and this is The Blender. Alright, so we're coming up on the release of the Switch 2. I mean, we just had the announcement for it, or like the direct for the Switch 2 on February 2nd. So now let's go ahead and take a look back at Nintendo's history. And we're going to do a tier list of all the Nintendo consoles. Alright, let's get into this. So, as you see here, I already have some of the consoles laid out in a duplicate tier, and what even is this? Because there's a couple on here, I have no clue what they are. I think this is a Game & Watch. I mean, if it is, it should be on duplicate then, because I have another duplicate, and original one's going to be the first one we go over. But I have no clue what the heck this controller thing is. Looks like it's related to the 64. Never seen this one before in my life. And I have no clue what this bar is. But besides that, if you want to let me know in the comments, go for it. I just don't know what they are. But yeah, we have all the duplicates laid out there. You'll see I have the original Game Boy Advance here, because I'm going to go over the SP. SP was what I played more of. It's what I felt more comfortable with for some reason, even though it's a little bit smaller. It's what I spent all my time with. Anyways, let's get into this. So, we have the Game & Watch. Game & Watch was... It was good for its time. It wasn't the most advanced thing. To me, it reminds me of Snake on cell phones, and we've come a long way on mobile games since then. It's fun. I can't say it's not. Like, there's a bunch of fun games I do enjoy on it, like try to catch things that are falling from the sky. There's the juggling one where you're trying to like juggle multiple items at once. It's fun little time killer. It's something I would say is like kids' first game type thing. So for me, it's going to go on C. I'm not saying it's bad. It still is like I said, a fun thing. Just it's not the best thing to ever exist. It's cool. It's cool. It's a cool little throwback thing. And then we have the NES. NES is where a lot of this stuff started. You have Mario, you have Zelda, you have just all these classics. Metroid, Kirby, all these things started off here. And they also had one of the best games ever, which is Dodgeball. And Dodgeball got better as it went on, but I love that game. I spent so much time playing Dodgeball. It is a fun, simple little game, and if you've never played it, or even Super Dodgeball, go check them out. They are fun little games, and I wish that series would come back. So for me, mainly based off nostalgia, it's going to get an A. It is a banger system. It also was the system that taught us how to destroy our games by blowing into them, which is absolutely not the right thing you're supposed to do, but hey, it fixed it at the moment, and that's all that matters. We were able to play our game. And then we have the original Nintendo. This one is also going to go on A. Actually, it's going to go on B. And here's why. Yes, it did start like Pokemon first hit here. We had a bunch of fun games on it. We have some great games on it. But compared to what we have coming later, it deserves its place in history, but it's not the best thing ever. It was the brick. It had some cool like expansion things you could put on it. Like it had the huge console thing, which would come out with like a magnifying glass and some lights shining onto it, and a bunch of other like attachable things you could do with it. And that was cool. And it set Nintendo up for their handheld future, which is still going on today. And it's beautiful. I do appreciate it. Plus, the coolest thing is when I was a kid, I had dropped mine many times, and I used to stay at this. I used to go visit my great grandmother at this convalescent home, like an old folks home, and they had this fountain out front, and we'd basically stay out there. We'd pull her out in her wheelchair, and we'd all spend time sitting out there in the front of the place, and unfortunately, mine had fallen into that fountain one or two times. And this thing was so resilient, even without knowing like the whole rice trick that we do today with cell phones, I was able to just let this thing dry out, put in new batteries, and it would start working. It was fantastic. I had my original Nintendo Game Boy for years. And I love that thing. I absolutely love that thing. But I don't know about you, but it was the same thing I kind of have with Game & Watch, is well, Game & Watch is a little bit better, at least this version I have shown here, because it's that gray and black screen. This green and black screen, after a while, just hurts your eyes. It's unfortunate, but it does hurt your eyes. Besides that, fantastic system. Like, truly is fantastic. We have the headache simulator up next, and that, I should have put another tier on here. It would be below C. It's below Game & Watch 100%. It was the first little virtual reality thing we had. And for its time, it was a cool idea. But it's also black on red, and God, that thing will kill you. That will hurt your eyes so bad. So bad. I mean, it was cool. Tennis was the best game on it, like Mario Tennis. And sadly, that's what you're mostly going to see people play when they show that system off, is Mario Tennis. But it was really well done for its time. Especially thinking of how they built it, how they put it out there. It didn't get enough attention at the time. Like, growing up around that time, you did see ads for it. You see them in magazines. I believe they also had some TV commercials. But it just didn't seem like it had enough hype behind, like, compared to the other systems they had. There wasn't enough hype behind it, plus I don't think there was enough games. Super Nintendo. That is a solid S. So many games just came out and made that system beautiful. You had Donkey Kong Country games, Zelda, Link to the Past. That's one of the best Zeldas ever made. It's a fantastic system. I still play throwback games on that all the time. Like all these retro games. They are fantastic on that. I love that system so much. And then we have Game Boy Color, which took everything from the Game Boy and made it better. Just so much better. That is definitely getting an A. Absolutely getting an A. I mean, you had Pokemon Yellow, which was still... So, Game Boy Color to Game Boy Color. The cartridges were shaped a little bit different. If it was a just only Game Boy Color game, instead of having like a little notch in the corner where when you turn on the power of the Game Boy, it would have this little plastic piece slide into there, and that's how it turned the game on. The Game Boy Color games were just rounded up top, like a round square, what do you want to say? Kind of like the top of the DS here. And so you couldn't play the Game Boy Color games in a Game Boy. That was how they prevented that. Even if you cut off that plastic piece, which I did, it still wouldn't run. And yeah, but you had Pokemon Yellow, which was the cartridge for a Game Boy, because you could play it in the original one and it would just be green and black. Or you could play it in Game Boy Color and you could have the standard colors show up on it. Like you could have Pikachu be yellow and brown. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. If you were playing a regular Game Boy game on it that wasn't that Pokemon game, you could press like, I believe it was like select and up when the game was starting, and it would choose a different color palette that you'd be using on the game, which I appreciated that. It brought some life to some of these older games. But yeah, that was a fun system. I loved it so much. Had my teal one, had it stolen when I took it to school one time, got another one, teal again, and yeah, I love it. I love the Game Boy Color. The 64. The awkward controller, which people who played the 64 love. I've gone back and played it since, and I don't have that same appreciation for it, like that same love. It's going to get a B, because yes, it is still a good game console. It has great games on it. But, I don't know, just... the controls were so whack. Like, going back and playing, especially playing the, like on NSO, Nintendo Switch Online, and playing some of these 64 games, I'm just trash at them. Like, the controls are so awkward. But it was fun at the time, and it also has the best game ever, Superman 64. You know you all love that. Alright, moving on, we have the Game Boy Advance, and like I said earlier, I chose the SP. SP was just my preferred way of playing it. I like the screen better. I like the way it felt better. I think that's really all I like about it. It was more compact too. I could close it up and take it with me. It fit in my pocket, unlike this thing, which I guess fit in your pocket, just didn't feel the same. Yeah, this was so convenient. It had the lights on it and everything. It had a better better brightness for the screen too. You could play it outside. For the games that came out on this console, beautiful. They worked so much magic with this little handheld that it won me over. It beat out the Game Boy Color for me. It was the next evolution. The Pokemon games on it got better. Just everything got better. Plus, I believe this is when they first started putting videos onto the Nintendo systems. Like, you could actually get episodes of like Fairly Odd Parents and put it in there and watch them on your Game Boy Advanced. And I thought that was really cool. That was really cool. That was them stepping up. And yeah, it's for me, it's gonna go on S. I love the Game Boy Advanced. I think it's one of the best handheld systems ever made. GameCube. A lot of people don't like this one. I don't know why. Like, I am a huge fan of this one. It's instantly going up on S. It's the best Nintendo system, in my opinion. And yeah, a lot of people aren't going to agree with that. But I look at it at the time I played it, plus the games that came on it. And it had that little handle on the back of it, so you could take it to a friend's house and not have to worry about dropping it, which you can't say that about basically any console today outside of the Switch, which, you know, tiny. But it was a fun, great system. It also tied in with a Game Boy Advance. You could play, Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, and you could actually use your Game Boy Advance as another controller. I thought that was a cool thing to keep both your handheld and your home console like alive together. Make people want to get both of them. It was a little gimmicky if you think about it that way, but it was cool. It was a beautiful system. Absolutely beautiful. And it had two of the other best Zeldas, which is Wind Waker, which is not as great as the next one, which is Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess, fantastic Zelda. I love that one. That one is right up there with, like I said, Link to the Past for the best ones. The DS. The DS is interesting system. They really tried to go out and do so much more with, like, basically take the Game Boy Advance and be like, how can we make this better? And unfortunately, they went with the gimmicky thing of having a stylus, which it's whatever. You don't have to use it. Just use the tip of your finger and draw if you have to draw on it. But the games they came out for it, and the fact that it had like a microphone on it you could blow into, and there was actually, I can't remember what game it was, but you had to actually blow into it and it made things happen. It was cool. I really like how they came out with this console. Sadly, I don't feel it's as great as the Game Boy Color or the Game Boy Advance. So it's going to go on B. It's still a great console. It sold just tons of copies of the console, but it wasn't quite there for me. The Wii. Yeah, the Wii's going to go on A. So when consoles decided to get into this whole mass of like, hey, we're going to do motion controls. We had Sony do it, and it was all right. Sony Move or whatever they called it. It was fine. The Kinect, disaster. Like, I liked what they were going for with Kinect. It could have been like the best thing ever, but it didn't seem to work. It just never seemed to work. And it's sad, because Xbox could have had a solid winner with that. The 360 was a winner overall for Xbox, but Kinect was such a letdown. But the Wii had some of the best motion. Like, it truly did. There were a few games that weren't great with the motion. Like, there was a Dragon Quest, I think it was Dragon Quest Swords. And you had to like slash certain ways to hit different enemies. Like, you couldn't just constantly do like a downward slash or even a side slash, because it wouldn't be like at the right angle. You would swing over a slime's head when you're doing a side slash. Or maybe when you're swinging down, for some reason it's swinging over here and not down the center where the enemy's sitting. You could do diagonal slashes. That game had some right ideas, just it failed. But other games on it were great. They even have another Zelda game that did fantastic with it. It felt so right playing Skyward Sword with that. You hold up the wand And you would actually have Link charge up his sword to do his like power attacks. I really like what they did with this. Plus you had Wii Sports. That's the best game on Wii, like by far. It was great for playing alone. It was great for playing with friends and family. It brought more generations into playing games. My parents like playing it. And they're not like, my mom plays games. She plays more like Myst and stuff like that. Puzzle thinking games. But this got more people into playing games. I don't know anybody who would say like the Wii was trash. It's just, it's a great system. Great system. The 3DS. Yeah, get mad at me for that. It's going to go on C. It's better than the other two. Let's move it up to its correct space if I can. There we go. It's the best of the C tier. It tried to improve on the DS, but I don't think it truly did. I don't know anybody who actually plays with the 3D mode on, because that just kills your eyes. If you're not holding the 3DS at the exact right angle, it is just a migraine inducer. It was terrible. And I'm someone who suffers from migraines, so all these ones that I say like give you headaches, that's what it's from. Is I suffer from migraines. Having to deal with something that's basically just going to instantly trigger one because its visuals aren't that great. It's bad. It is bad. But the 3DS was cool. Like they had the stick on it, like the thumbstick, so it made it a little bit more friendly for controlling it. But I don't know. There were some things that were just a letdown from it. It was an upgrade in some ways. Screen got better. But besides that, the regular DS I think was better. Just sorry to say that. I think it was better. The Wii U. It's going to go up higher than people think. It is a great console. The thing it lacks is games. If it had just more games and... yeah, if it had more games, it would be much better. It had decent online capabilities. The screen was actually pretty reactive. I do like the games that they did fully take advantage of the second screen. Like there was Zombie U. Not a great game, but the way it worked with the screen, fantastic. That was a brilliant idea. And I hope that the Switch 2 eventually brings that up too. Do something like that. Let me play with my handheld and also have it on the TV that do different things. It's a cool little idea. And yeah, it did the same thing that the Xbox One did, except, yeah, Xbox One flopped too. They both went harder into media instead of just focusing on purely the games. And that killed both of them. That made both systems a flop. Sadly, Wii U did flop harder. That was like the biggest red mark to Nintendo. But again, I think if they had put games on there, if they had made their software set up a little bit more compatible with other developers, you would have better games on there. You would have a huge library of games. Plus, it's also where Breath of the Wild came from. And Mario Kart 8. Those games helped make the Switch so much better. They had two banger titles to start off with. Even if you don't like, I'm not the biggest fan of Breath of the Wild, I've said that before. But having it on there was a true show of power to both the Wii U and the Switch. It showed how great this console can be. And yeah, it had so much potential, just lack of games. Lack of games kills it. We have the Switch instantly going up top. Like, this is everything I want in a console. It is handheld and dockable, so I can play it on my TV or play it in my hands. It's my favorite console of recent times. It's a dream come true for a console. Yeah, it's not the most powerful console out of all the big three. It fails in comparison to a PS3. It's not comparable. I mean, it's comparable to the Xbox One for like maybe power. Graphics aren't the greatest, but I'm not like a super hardcore like, oh, everything needs to be the best graphics ever. I need Unreal Engine 5 for every game. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how like the new Pokemon ZA like has terrible graphics. It looks like junk. It's Pokemon. I'm there because it's a good game. It's going to be a fun game. Even Pokemon, what is it? Scarlet and Violet. They have their issues. They have their graphical issues. But you know what? I enjoy playing the game. I enjoy the fact that it's Pokemon and I get to explore this world. That's what matters to me. Yeah, you can say like, oh, I'm just simping for Pokemon. I don't care. Like, I like the games. That's what I'm there for. Just the quality of games. Well, I guess I can't say quality because I just said they had issues. But the games that are on there, the funability of games. So then we have the Switch Lite, which is kind of a disappointment. It took something that was great. The Switch is great. And then they took away the ability to dock it. It has a smaller screen. So yeah, it's more compatible. That's a plus for it. That's why it's not going on C. It has some pluses. But it takes away some of the functionality of the Switch. And I think that's just a letdown. It's not bad in any other way. It plays all the same games. It plays them just fine. I don't know. It's not what I wanted them to do with a spin-off of a console. It was like basically they put the Wii U controller and that was it. You just don't get it connected to your TV. I don't know. I'm sure it sold well. I know Hawk has one. He likes it. But it's just not for me. Even though I wanted one at first. I absolutely wanted one at first. After I got the Switch, I was like, I think I might get a Switch Lite too. And then I thought about it, I was like, no. Just no. Absolutely not. And then there's going to be the Switch 2, which I can't put it anywhere. I feel it's going to be there. Like, absolutely do. I mean, if it ends up anywhere else, like, God, imagine if this one flopped hard like the Wii U. I don't think it will. Again, it's going to have so many cool things. We've already confirmed the fact that there's going to be the mouse functionality, so we're probably going to get some throwback titles. We might get some more PC titles coming on, like some RTS games where you need to use your mouse. Like, maybe you're going to get like it's not going to happen, but maybe you're going to get like a StarCraft game, which heavily involve your mouse. I'm down for that. I'm down for them bringing that. Maybe I'll get some Total War games. Something else that has never been on a Nintendo system. It's going to be beautiful. So I'm just preemptively going to throw it there, even though it deserves its own tier of like not yet released. But I am looking forward to that one. I am absolutely looking forward to that one. It's going to be beautiful. I've already pre-ordered mine by the time you're watching this. And yeah, I'm really hoping that it is everything I want it to be. I'm not expecting the world from it. I just want a bit of an upgrade from the Switch. And like, I don't consider the OLED. Where is the OLED one? It was on this list. Oh, there it is. There it is. Tiny little picture. That was somewhat of an upgrade. The screen got a little bit more crisp. That's about it. But I don't consider that like a full upgrade. Like, not at all. Not at all. When I consider like the upgrade from SP or from regular advanced to SP an actual upgrade. It did more than just like making this picture look a little bit better. It was more compact, so that's a plus. It had, to me, it felt better. I don't know why it felt better. I don't like having to look between my hands, which is what I do with the Switch. I mean, I use a little controller dock thing, which basically makes it like the Game Boy Advance in a way. But oh no, I don't like the smaller screen having my hands like right there in between. It feels weird. I like to have like the screen a little bit above. It felt better. And I did play both, but SP won out like easily. Easily. The only thing that made it hard was there was a game I like to play, which is I can't remember the name of it, but it's a Konami game. It was made by Kojima, I believe. And you had to use the power of the sun. It was like Boktai Power of the Sun. And it had a little solar chip on it. And on the Game Boy Advance, like the regular one, the way it sits is like perfect. It's right up there. So when you're playing on the SP, it slots down here. So you're kind of having to like angle the light you're using. Like maybe charge it like that for a second because you use the sun's power to actually charge your weapon in that game. And yeah, that was the only downside to it, was one game. But yeah, besides that, I loved everything else about the SP. And I'm really hoping that we get those same advancements from the Switch 2. I really do. And the ability to play more games. Yeah, that's really it. So that is my list. Here's all the duplicates. Again, just ignore them. There's the ones I don't know, which again, if you do know what any of these are, like these two, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is Game & Watch. That picture's so small I can't read the text right there. But if you know what these two are, please let me know. And yeah, let me know what you think about my list overall. Like, do you agree with any of these? Do you think that the Wii U should be like, you know, way down here on like a Z tier because it's so trash? Basically because it didn't have enough games. Do you feel like the 64 deserves to be an S? Which I know a lot of people probably do. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And until next time, you take care. Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.